It is an absolutely beautiful day outside. So let me tell you about a beautiful disaster.
Nature in all her glory hath named you her king. She has named you the king.
So recently I got to attend a Kanye listening party. And let me just say, was that an experience? No matter what you think about Kanye after all of the controversies and, well, you know, songs he's made, it's kind of undeniable to see the impact he's made on music. Majority of the artists we have today would not be here without his influence and, to be honest with you, his money and production. After Kanye apologized, it was just inherent that the next step was going to be an album, and the album did eventually come. Not at the listening party though, 2 days later. I did, however, get to hear it early, which I'm very, very happy about. Earlier that day, Complex had posted that Kanye was having several listening events all around the globe. Some were in Korea, some were in Chicago, but I went to the one over at Terminal 5 in New York, because, yeah, I'm from here. There was nothing that indicated that any of this was real. It was just Complex's word, and I guess Ye's image. Either way, I ended up showing up right when it said that it was going to start, which was 8 o'clock. When I actually did get to Terminal 5, it turned out to be real, but you had to get the tickets online and you only got the link once you got there. Either way, it was all over access, so I was able to find it pretty quickly and copped mine. But here's the thing. The poster Complex posted said that it was going to open at 8 o'clock. The tickets said it was going to open at 10 o'clock. Boy, how long you want me waiting in this line? So I had my roommate stay there while I went back home. I got myself some soup because I had just gotten my wisdom teeth out and I couldn't really eat much, and I made my roommate some buttered chicken. I packed that bitch up all nice, and then we came back. But yeah, for most of the rest of it, we were just waiting. They eventually had a camera guy come down, and there were these kids from New Jersey who were mad fucking loud, started immediately yelling for the camera to come over. But it's funny because a little bit after they checked IDs, the woman came back and was like, "Show me your ID again." He was like, "No, I don't got my ID." "Boy, how you lose your ID in 5 seconds? She was about to kick him out of the line. A whole confrontation happened. I, of course, got a video. Like, what are we talking about?
Exactly, so you can't come in. If you don't have an ID, you're not coming in.
After that, though, I think he did eventually get to stay in line, and we got put into our separate sections. My roommate had his bag on him, so we ended up going into the bag section, and then we walked into Terminal 5 to see a boxing ring placed in the middle of the venue, which is low-key really fucking baller. Once we were in, everything was like screaming art, like artsy as fuck. The kind of art where you're famous and now you're like just trying to show off. Yeah, that's what this was. But it was still really, really cool. I mean, obviously the first thing we were thinking is who the fuck is gonna fight in here, but the album's called Bully, so it low-key makes sense. They also had like these drapes over top, which come in later. I'll talk about that. Real quick, before I get on to what a large portion of this listening party consisted of, let me also once again give a shout out to my goat, Austin, bro. He bought me and my roommate water, which was $6 a bottle. Yo, respect that you ballin' like that, and even more respect that you'd use it on me. You a real one, bro. Of course, after we got in though, from about 10:30 to 11:30, it was just waiting and waiting and more waiting. Oh my God, bro, this shit was awful. And I hope you also realize, like, during this entire time, the only thing that every person around me and I was doing was checking the internet to see if it was canceled. Everybody thought Kanye was gonna push back the album. And guess what he did? He pushed back the album, but we still got to hear it at the listening party. Still, it was so nerve-wracking to go on my phone and react to this fucking NF podcast guy saying, "They're canceling listening parties everywhere. Bully's not gonna come out. It's over. They're canceling it. They're canceling it." Man, I have been waiting here for 4 hours. Fuck you. It did get to the point though where people were talking and they were like, okay, it's gonna start at 12, and then 12 came, and then it was gonna start at 1, and then, you know, it was just like waiting in anticipation and seeing basically how much farther they could push it before I would be like, you know, ready to go the fuck home and demand a refund from my bank. The other thing that was really, really annoying was Terminal 5 doesn't have any like chairs. It's a venue, but it's a standing venue. So every time we would sit on the floor, they'd be like, "Yo, it's almost time. Get up, get up, get up." And then we'd get up, and then we'd wait another fucking hour. They just made us stand up.
It's fucking bullshit. Sitting Nation.
My back hurts. 12:30 specifically was the time where it started to heat up. Every single person started becoming like more antsy. There were more Kanye chants, and it was getting to that point where it was looking like 1 was gonna be the time. And at 12:50, that's when it was confirmed. A boxer entered into the ring and stood there and looked up with a mask covering his face, and that's how I kind of knew it was about to be fucking go time. Especially now because the music was a lot more locked in, while before they were playing random Kanye and then like Easy to Kid. Now they were playing only Kanye and like slowly getting more and more to the underground and like more thorough shit until finally the clock struck it was either 12:50 or 1. I just remember hearing the intro to King and the beat drop happened and everything changed. The album was on, we were listening to it. They started projecting on all different sides of the arena on top of the sheets a movie of Saint West just beating the absolute living fuck out of these people. And bro, do I gotta say, even after everything, even after all the pain that it takes to be a Kanye fan, and even after all the pain it takes to still show up to one of his events, after everything he said, all the controversy he's put people through, and to be honest with you, all of the hate that he spread, because even after all of this, even after how dedicated of a Kanye fan it seems that I would be, since I've been waiting here since 8 o'clock and it is now fucking 1 o'clock in the morning, I will say, Kanye and replatforming him is a very, 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 very on-the-nose topic that I don't 100% agree with. I think people make mistakes, and I think they can learn from their mistakes, but honestly, this shit's pretty bad. Still, very, very much so. I've always wanted to go to a Kanye listening party. Since growing up, that was like the music event. Kanye was the artist, and to be honest with you, he was always kind of that pioneer. I mean, I'm wearing Yeezys. I got these after the Nazi shit because they were mad cheap, but I didn't pay him for them. But actually listening to this album and like being able to sit there and watch the movie play on screen while seeing all of these fighters come into the arena and start doing a little bit worse than WWE, but still, it was just so satisfying, especially with all of like the songs that were actually emotional and like good tracks. I specifically remember like King was great. That was like the intro and really grabbed everybody. But Father, the beat drop, the Travis Scott part, people were nuts. Like they were going crazy, especially because that was in the middle of when everybody in the ring started absolutely macking each other. Plus that like string of 3 songs, it's Father, Punch Drunk, and then All the Love was just like electric. I don't think I heard anybody complaining about any of those songs in the actual like listening party. Everybody was like vibing and looking around being like, he might be back. Overall though, I will say through the rest of the listening party, there were songs that picked up, but there were definitely some like slower tracks. I think like just a problem with this album in general is Kanye just sounds so jaded, like no emotion in a lot of these tracks. I mean, whatever works is fire. That's like some old Kanye, but like low key, the new version he did of Preacher Man, he has so much less energy on. Like, why? But still, it was so much fun listening to, well, most of the album played through twice. They didn't do like Circles with Don Toliver and a couple other of the middle tracks, but like low-key, they did the tracks that mattered. We ended up finishing up the listening party around like 2. I remember my roommate was really pissed off because at the end of the listening party, they like started playing Runaway. And he was like, we've been waiting for this album for like 4 fucking hours while they playing Runaway. But like, you know, it was that moment. And to be honest with you, I feel like the venue didn't even have the album until fucking 12:40. Just 100% real. It seemed very in character that Kanye just didn't send anything out. And listening to the track list and then watching the LA thing, like it's very clear the reason Runaway played there was because that was supposed to be like his walkout anthem after the entire listening party. But Kanye wasn't at our show, so it wasn't as cool. After all of this, what do I have to say not only about the listening party experience, but also Kanye, his return, and the album Bully in general? And here's what I'll say. That was long. It was really long, and it's probably one of the longest and most arduous journeys I've had waiting for something that wasn't even a concert. It was instead just an album listening party. But still, the artsy side of it was really, really cool. It was interesting to see Kanye back in action to a certain degree, especially because I've never really gotten to experience any of his production or shows or, you know, creations like that. And the show was entertaining. Like, the movie over the sheets was really, really satisfying. trying to watch, and it was pretty well done, even though it was just a kid beating the shit out of people in black and white. And the actual actors, I gotta say, shout it to them. They put on a really good performance. And I remember very specifically there was one part, like the beat dropped and everybody dropped to the floor, and it was like, whoa, like that's cool, that's theater, and that's performance, and it means something, and that's awesome. Because to be honest with you, I like it better when Kanye's being a creative and not a Nazi. Is this redemption? Like, no, far from it. I saw the San Fran show and it looked crazy. SoFi Stadium looked beautiful, and all of the people he had bring out is crazy. Like Lauryn Hill, having her come up there, that's so cool. But like, yo, he made a song, I can't even say that on YouTube. Like, you guys know which one I'm talking about. The thing is that I'm still like trying to process after everything here is, are we ready for Kanye to become a mainstay artist back in our society? And to be honest with you, it's not really a choice anymore. He is. That's the third largest selling rap album this year, and you're already seeing buzz everywhere about how Kanye's back. Now, do I love replatforming him? No, but I do kind of like that to a certain sense. I can kind of feel the old energy, because even after everything, he made Graduation. I'm not gonna end it off there. Once again, I do not endorse pretty much any of Kanye's actions, but the listening party was sick, and low-key, the album Bully was pretty solid. I'd probably give it like a 6 or a 7 out of 10. While there were songs that I thought were absolutely engaging and absolutely fun, there were also songs that I thought were very, very boring and like low-key Very, very happy that he removed Circles with Don Toliver on it. That was kind of But yeah, Kanye listening party experience, I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10. The show was cool. Did not have to be waiting there for that long. And I also did not need all these fucking people yelling, it's canceled, it's canceled, it's canceled, you're gonna need to get a refund, and then worrying about a refund. Like, it would have been nice if they just, you know, told me when it was gonna happen, so that way I wouldn't have to wait and, like, you know, push farther on a Thursday night. Anyway, moral of the story, I guess Kanye's kinda back, and I guess I'm kinda there for it. Hey, if you liked the video, please subscribe and like it. I'm trying out a new format, and I think I'm starting to get that like little in-between between doing shorts and like real videos. I think it's starting to show face to where there's like an overlap, which is nice. I'm trying just new stuff out, so if you like what I'm doing, like I said, please subscribe and let me know what else you would want to see in the comments below.